Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. We're going to do a road trip today to the Big Creek Sawmill. It's the last operating commercial sawmill on the central California coast. There's a few other sawmills in Northern California that are still running, but the timber industry here in California is almost down to nothing. So anyways, this was a rare treat. It was invitation-only tours at this mill. It's a small family-owned mill. I was really excited to get an invite to go there. I know you're interested in seeing the operation, so we'll keep this short. I'm planning on doing a part 2 to this video, which will have the history of the family, the mill itself, and more of the details of what happens inside the mill. So stay tuned for part 2. I'm not sure how many people will be interested in that part of things, but I know it was really interesting to me, so somebody out there will probably be interested. The other last note is that this mill is right next to Silicon Valley, literally within 15 to 20 miles, and the forests that all of these redwoods come from are right around the Silicon Valley. So that's really an interesting fact, and we'll talk more about that in the part 2 video. So anyways, the mill is extremely noisy. It's so loud in there, the only communications is by hand signal. So they gave us some briefing ahead of time of what we'd be seeing and so forth. And then I had to do a little research afterwards to make sure I had all my terminology right. So I'll put comments in the video of what the different processes are and so forth. It was kind of a quick whirlwind tour. We had a fairly large group when we went through the mill, and it's a small mill, so there's not room for a lot of people. They only have 40 total employees at this sawmill, but it's very interesting. And then at the end, we'll take a look at the saw maintenance shop where they do the repairs and sharpening of the bandsaw blades. There's 3 main head saws, and they all use a 43-foot by, and it varies, it's usually about 11-inch wide bandsaw blade. They change the blades twice a day, and that's to me, that was a very interesting part of the whole process, is the care and maintenance of the blades. It's a major part of the mill, and they've got, I think it was 3 guys that's all they do, is they work on the blades, and they change them I think at the end of the shift, and then they change it during the lunch break. And they get some nasty cracks. I was talking to one of the technicians, and luckily I don't think they've ever had a complete blade failure while operating, but you know, at the speed these things run, that would be pretty devastating. But he said they've had some where, you know, they've had 4-foot long cracks that they've caught just in time. And then I got a photo of one of the blades that has a pretty good crack in it, and they'll actually cut out just a section and replace a bad section of the blade. And we'll get more into that in part 2. So anyways, let's have a look at the mill, and I hope you guys enjoy it.